This is ATL Day Ones, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta. And it starts now.
Welcome into ATL Day Ones with Jarvis and Tenitra. Woo, it's a freaking Friday. We about to get down. Wait,
Freaky?
what?
But,
Yeah, freaky.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We about to freak y'all with these sports topics for today. How about this? Shohei Ohtani to the Braves. Woo, what the heck is going on there? Desmond Ridder. Is he really ready to take over as the starting quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons? And last but not least, and for the culture, why doggone the Nationals being cheap with Juan Soto? We'll talk about all of that and for the culture. But first, T. Oh, yeah, don't forget, give us a follow on Twitter at JarvisD90 and at Tenitra Batiste. We really appreciate that. We got some good stuff going over there. And Locked On ATL is our Twitter page for Locked On Sports Atlanta. We want to thank you guys for making us your first listen of the day. And remember, we're free and available wherever you download your podcast and wherever you download your podcast. Make sure you give us a 5-star review. Now, T, the Atlanta Braves set to take on the Anaheim Angels. Charlie Morton's on the mound. Ironically, Shohei Ohtani is on the mound as well. Like I mentioned before, we'll get into what the heck is going on with that. But first, I think that the Braves get coming out of the All-Star break. I think that, with a guy like I think it's a little ironic that Charlie Morton is on the mound tonight because this is a guy that we need to see a good performance from in his first game back from the All-Star break.
No question. He is going to be a critical piece of the Braves making that run in the second half. They, of course, closed the gap from 10 games out to 2.5 games to be in the top of the division, right? I feel like Charlie Morton needs to, not just the Braves need to get out of the gates with a series win, which I do think they can pull off. They've done it before against the Angels, but I also think it's important and critical for him to get this win, if for nothing else, to kind of boost his confidence. But one thing I do like about Charlie Morton is he does, even with his age, kind of get better as the season wears on. So we're hoping that the same thing we kind of saw last season from him, we'll see again in the second half of this season.
No doubt about it. And I think that it's something that, you want to be able to look out for in the pitching staff, because if he doesn't perform well, maybe Alex Anthopoulos considers making a phone call and trying to figure out, hey, how can I add to this starting rotation? Who can I can kind of play around with some things a little bit? Is Ian Anderson in that conversation? And I think that, we all know that Alex Anthopoulos thinks about all scenarios.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure that he's going to be working the phones as we get closer to the trade deadline. But speaking of the trade deadline, maybe you can put a little money on a possible trade that the Braves could make with T. Tell them about BetOnline.net and what they got going on for our listeners and our viewers.
Yes, BetOnline.net. That is your number one source for all your betting needs and even sports info. So first of all, they give you the latest sports developments, league reviews, news, Major League Baseball. Like we said, over under for Alex Anthopoulos trading big time. Well, they'll give you some information on whether or not you should bet that way. NBA as well, and any over under on really any of your favorite teams. In fact, you can get some good insight for them as well in terms of what you think. Even we haven't talked about it in a little while. It's been quiet, but what will the Hawks do before this offseason ends? So again, that's where you can go to get sports wagering info, live betting, esports scores. And then we even talk about them having information about niche sports like MMA, like golf, like boxing. You can get it all there. You head to that website today, of course, after you watch our show or listen to our show, and you can use the mobile device to learn more about the trends and action. And for me as a sportscaster and for Jarvis as a sportscaster as well, that's the important part for us to be able to kind of watch trends. So again, BetOnline is where the game starts. And if you want to check them out, go to betonline.net.
Go ahead and do that. Now, speaking of, trades and stuff like that, and Alex Anthopoulos working the phones. There's a guy who, is not a general manager, but he works for the MLB Network, Dan Plesic. So they, how they do it this time of year. They do the whole bold predictions and try to see what's going on and play general manager and all that good stuff, right? So he just went all off the board with this one. So he said for basically financial flexibility. Now they do have some, some big boy contracts on the books over there in Anaheim, but so I think that this is kind of where his mindset is. So kind of to save some money in the long run, he said that Shohei Ohtani will be an Atlanta Brave. Everybody knows who our favorite is on this show, and I think that in order for them to even think about trading for Shohei Ohtani, I gotta believe that Michael Harris might be a part of this trade in this dream scenario.
Right. And everybody, all of our listeners, all of our viewers everywhere, did you hear what Jarvis just said? Dream scenario, okay?
Yes, dream.
So we're just kind of following the path that the MLB Network analyst already set out there. We're not the Cray Cray, okay? But we're going to react to the Cray Cray because that's exactly what that was. Now, when you think about what Alex Anthopoulos did last year, yes, we can agree that at the trade deadline and even right before, he worked magic. I mean, he really worked magic. Jorge Soler, Jock Peterson, Adam Duvall, Eddie Rosario, all to help them go on that run to the World Series. But Jarvis, I think this might be asking for too much. And listen, I wanted to share this with you because I thought that you would A, find it hilarious, and B, could do like me and co-sign. And that is, I looked at the clip from MLB Network, and then I kind of did like the trending on Twitter, right? And looked at a couple tweets. And this is what somebody said, one of the guys on the network, and then one of the tweets. This is what the Braves would have to give the Angels. The whole Mississippi Braves team, for starters. Give up
a whole affiliate, minor league affiliate, right? Like here, take the whole team.
Take them all. And if not them, right? Mike Soroka, Spencer Strider, Michael Harris, Jesus Christ, Bob Ross, Kevin Durant, Tyler Murray, Ryan Reynolds, players you don't even have, Jarvis.
Guys, you ain't even drafted yet. We ain't drafted me yet, but more than likely we're going to get him. So here, you take him too.
KD. Kyler Murray. It was just the funniest thing. And of course, we know Kyler Murray just got that amazing contract. But anyway, I just thought that was hilarious. Like, whoa, you really would have to kind of give up all of that to get him. And legitimately, I don't think the Braves are in that ballpark of needing to do that.
No doubt about it. But they would be in the ballpark tonight against, the Anaheim Angels, against Shohei Ohtani. He's going to be on the mound. Charlie Morton is going to be on the mound for the Braves, and hopefully they can get off to a good start and get a win in the first game of this series. And last but not least, T, now you talked about, the daytime situation going on with the Dream, being on the road. How about Nneka Ogwumike just going slap off on the Dream yesterday? What was that all about? She had something personal against them or something?
well, maybe personal because in the second game of the season, that was an L that the Sparks took out at Gateway Center. So Sparks were looking to return the favor, and the Ogwumike sisters actually kind of did the damage all by themselves. And don't get me wrong, there were a couple of Dream players that had solid games, right? Once again, Tip Hayes,
yep, of course.
She was solid. Erin McDonald, I've been saying all season, has done a fantastic job of leading the second unit. She also had 18 points, and Ryan Howard had a solid night, almost a double-double, 10 points, 9 rebounds. But again, they were just out for blood yesterday. And I think, too, Jarvis, as the season winds down, they're looking at the fact that everybody, you have those final spots to go on that playoff run, and the Sparks are right there in the chase. So I think this was one of those games that they knew they had to absolutely win.
No doubt about it. They knew they had to absolutely win. And speaking of winning, Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith, they want to win some games this year. Yeah. But is Desmond Ridder going to be available to do that? Is he going to be capable of doing that? We'll talk about all that next right here on ATL Day Ones with Jarvis and T, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta. Don't go anywhere.